Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. On the program today, we take a look at how the governor's budget goes after the Clark County School District. Randy Thompson has the rundown.
We'll be talking to Joyce Haldeman, who's the Associate Superintendent of Education in Clark County.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, go to NevadaNewsmakers.com and go to the Nevada News Channel, where you will find Stephen Horsford questions whether the voters wanted one thing or getting another when it comes to school construction. And the governor's office responds. We cover this and a new story to post later today. Go to NevadaNewsmakers.com and click on Nevada News Channel and get very good reporting from our Samantha Stone. Okay, we have a great Power Pundit panel as always. With us is John Galtney, President Emeritus of Truckee Meadows Community College. Mike Bosma is the President of the Bosma Group, and Sean Carey is a consultant and community activist. And Randy, the floor is yours.
Well, the point I was trying to make is you can't separate operations and management from salaries. You can't separate building construction from the school system. The way she was talking, Joyce was talking about how they're just talking about voter intent for the construction aspect. A business, and I'm going to let Mike actually handle this because he is the money guy. A business person doesn't look and say, what's my operations and what's my building costs and stuff. It's all one pool. And if the voters are happy with our educational system, we wouldn't be complaining about what we're paying everybody. And yet she's only making it this one point that it's just the construction budget they're talking about. It's all one picture. We're not happy with education. So I'm going to turn it over to Mike.
Yeah, I would say that basically the government is the only one that gets away with accounting for these in two separate buckets. They look at, well, capital costs and what I can bond, instead of just looking at what does it cost to educate a pupil, including capital costs. Right now, state of Nevada, $1,800 a kid, a child in the public school system, just goes to capital cost, and which is way outpacing the rest of the nation. Arizona, very similar to Nevada in terms of their recent growth, and they've somehow been able to undercut us by 30% in capital. We're leading the nation in capital outlay, and you go to any new school and you'll see it, but they don't have the maintenance funds. And if you looked at these holistically as one, you'd say, well, let's just invest in our students and what that educational experience is. And you know, the other thing that's amazing is we're 1,700% behind Arizona in charter schools. Saves us 30% per student because there's no capital fund included with what they're paying for that.
Okay, let's John jump in.
Well, I totally agree with Mike on several issues, but not on this issue. The fact of the matter is you cannot support the state on the back of grade school kids. And the fact is that there is a relationship between the amount of money you spend in the classroom and the quality of education that takes place. I know that Utah exists as an exception to that and so on down the line. People look at those things, but you look at the overall data for the full nation. Now, that said, I boil literally when I hear these discussions going on about education. Quote, education is not a monolithic concept. It's a curriculum made up of hundreds of different issues. And when I hear people saying, well, we ought to raise taxes to support education, I agree that this needs to be seriously questioned, because I'm not so sure, and pardon me in the art department at UNR, that art appreciation drives the economy in the state of Nevada like computer science does, and that some intelligent decision making needs to be made. And I hear this term adult discussion regularly, and I'm saying we're not having one. We're not having a regular adult decision about the quality of education in different issues. I'm not even so sure that there ought to be a standard tuition. Engineering, math, science, and so on drive the economy of the world. I'm not sure, and I majored in history, that history does. You follow what I'm saying?
No, I don't. So, I couldn't disagree with you more. And you know, certainly you're going to be getting a phone call from Howard Rosenberg here probably in the next 3 minutes.
I'm looking forward to it.
But you know, how can you not look at history? Let's forget about art for the moment.
I believe in the quality of life issue, no question.
Well, and art will be included in that. I mean, a well-rounded education. Okay,
my house.
I got to get Sean in here. We're going to run out of time. Sean, your thoughts?
Well, you know, I do have to agree. I think when it comes to...
Agree with who? Pick somebody, because there's two of us on either side of the table here.
I would definitely have to agree with Dr. Gwaltney. When we're taking a look at what is most important as far as the economic drivers of the state, we need to be... Education cannot be just... For too long, education has been just a bumper sticker for most people. It's, well, we're going to fix education, we're going to fix education. Well, education is not just this big, huge thing that can't be separated into different parts. And although it's not necessarily the best idea to be taking money money away from capital expenditures and using it to fund regular operating costs. But then again, in the business world, that's what you do. Unfortunately.
We have a crisis, and to make an intelligent decision about what's valuable, you need to divide the issue into two, at least, questions. The first one is the quality of life issue, and I believe in my home every single art piece is an original. It is not a copy. I greatly appreciate the talent of those people, but that's not the question here. The question here is what drives the economy of this state. This state will not recover with the rest of the economy in the nation because it's driven on entertainment and the resort community, and that's not coming back like it was.
Well, but that's not really true, because all the signs, certainly on the Las Vegas Strip, are that you're going to see a much better recovery in 2012. In northern Nevada, you're seeing the Grand Sierra Resort just purchased by a huge conglomerate that has plenty of money to invest. The Atlantis is doing fine. The Pap Mill's doing fine.
But we're still a mono society. We are too dependent upon a tourism facility.
Right, but that's a 30-year project, right, Mike?
Right, it is.
You're going to change the economy.
But what I would say, though, Sam, I believe this to my core, that the solution for education in the state of Nevada looks nothing like it's currently constructed.
Yeah. And that's where we got to leave it. More to come, obviously, on this topic. We'll be right back on Nevada Newsmakers after this timeout.
Is this any way to clean a windshield? Well, it used to be the only way, but now there's the exciting new Windshield Wonder. The windshield